What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. Jeremy Scott here. Today I'm going to show you how to properly use a foam roll, and we're going to go a little bit into detail, and I'm going to show you what the foam roller actually does and how you can benefit from using a foam roller. You should use this foam roller maybe once a day, maybe twice a day. Definitely you should be using it every single day for recovery, better blood flow, tissue repair. Okay, but before we begin, make sure you subscribe and hit that like button down below. I'm also going to show you where you can get a nice and fancy foam roller like this one with little trigger points in it, and these are really effective and very, very helpful. You can also get a nice, soft, cushiony mat just like this as well. So we're going to foam roll a few different muscle groups today. So I'm going to show you how to first foam roll on your calves. Okay, there's a lot of benefits to using the foam roller. Okay, so what we're going to do, you can start right here at the ankle. You're going to get the whole part of the calf, which is the gastroc, okay, the soleus, and the peroneals, which are right here on the side. A lot of times if we have tight and overactive calves, so you could just follow along with me. When we have tight and overactive calves, these can cause injuries, okay? You can get pain, discomfort in your joints, your knees. It's going to cause you to move improper. If your body's not moving properly, then your joints are being stressed in ways that they don't need to be. So you can avoid this by foam rolling. Sometimes we have overactive calf muscles. What you notice when you're doing squats, if your ankles kind of roll in and your feet turn out, like externally rotate when you're doing squats, then you're definitely headed on the road towards getting injured in the future. So you got to foam roll for injury prevention, preventative maintenance. So you want to roll slowly. So as you're foam rolling, you want to roll slowly, about 1 inch per second. And what you're doing, you're trying to find the tender spots. When you feel those tender spots, you're rolling around first in the muscle looking for those tender spots. And when you find those tender spots, you want to hold it in that tender spot for 30 to 90 seconds. So this is not, I know it hurts, it's uncomfortable, so a lot of people just foam roll kind of fast. This is not as effective. You don't want to foam roll fast. You want to roll on the foam roller slowly, about 1 inch per second. So I'm moving here at this pace up and down the foam roller. Once again, increasing blood flow. So you're trying to find the most tender spots on that targeted muscle group. The leg that's on top, this is just to put a little bit more pressure. If it's too intense, you can actually take the foot and put it on the ground. It's going to take some of the pressure off of the foam roller. And if you have very tight and overactive calves, like myself, this is going to be plenty. Although I want to make it a little bit more intense, so I'll actually put my leg on top. So we're going to go on the peroneals, which is the outside. So we want to rotate the hips to the outside. So here we are. Here's a real tender spot right here. You just want to hold it. Just sit still and hold it in that tender spot for about 30 seconds. And then we're going to move along down the peroneals, trying to find some other tender spots. So right about there. And there's many different foam rollers. There's ones like mine with the bumps in it. There's flat ones. There's softer ones if the hard ones are too intense. But this one is the best, in my opinion. This is a self deep tissue massage. You can get a foam roller like this by clicking the link below from prozis.com. Just enter QUIKFITT during checkout. You can get 10% off your order. But these are nice foam rollers. It's nice and solid. It gets the job done. So there's another tender spot there in that calf. So if you get tired with your triceps or you have bad wrists, that's fine. You can just find your spot and then you can set your hips down on the ground. If you notice I had my hips up, when you find your spot, you can set your hips down. That's fine. This is going to put plenty of pressure. Sometimes my wrists get sore from other activities during the week. Some of the other sports and exercises that I do, I'll have sore wrists. So if that happens, then I can go fists down. As you guys noticed, a lot of my videos, I give you the option, if you have wrist problems, you can either go flat if you have good wrist mobility, or you got those wrist problems, you can go fist down this way so you don't have that bend in those wrists. So if you notice in my videos, whenever I have you doing push-ups, I give you the option to put the fist down so you don't bend the wrist. That's another solution there. At first it might be hard, especially if you have weak wrists, but over time you're going to build up strength and stability in the wrist, and this begins to get comfortable. And this is actually going to strengthen your wrists. So rolling on the calf, continue rolling. Find those tender spots. We're on those peroneals, which is just the outside of the calves, okay? Turn the hips over, like I said. And then we're also going to go here on the back of the calf, trying to find and look for the most tender spots. If you run a lot, if you wear heels, you might have some overactive calves. This is also going to help you to recover from your workouts. It's going to help you to move better. It's going to help you feel better. It's going to help to increase blood flow in that targeted area. All right, let's go ahead and switch sides. Starting on the back of the calf, one leg on top of the other. Lifting those hips up. Ooh, that is a very tender spot. So I'm going to go ahead and hold it right there in that spot. Very slowly. So you should spend about 5 to 10 minutes per day if you have time. Do this while you're watching TV. It's better to be active, doing something, moving around than just sitting there on the couch. Always better to move. You want to roll nice and slow. Take your time here. Once again, 1 inch per second, stopping on those tender areas where you feel the most discomfort. When you feel the most discomfort, you want to hold it for 30 to 60 seconds. So the calves is one of the most common ones. Or if you do squats and your heels elevate coming off the ground, that's a very common sign. It's a very obvious sign that you have overactive calf muscles. Very good. Next, another very common one is overactive lat muscles. That's the muscle that we use when we pull. A lot of times if you sit at a desk, if you have an office job or you're just sitting a lot during the day or driving, maybe you have bad posture, we tend to internal rotate and hunch over. Or if you're sitting on your phone, you're going to tend to get overactive lats. Okay, the lats pull the arms down and they also internally rotate the arms. So there's some muscles in here, teres major, teres minor, and your lats. And this is going to help. This is going to actually make you not help you. It's going to do the opposite of help you. It's going to get your shoulders all crunched and rounded forwards, and the head's going to go forward. So, and a lot of times, if you have a hard time extending your arms up above your head, okay, these lat muscles are very tight. So we're going to roll on these lats. So you're going to go just right underneath the armpit, okay, and this leg's going to be flat on the ground. Back leg we're going to use to help to roll our body up and down on the foam roller. Once again, we're rolling about 1 inch per second, nice and slow. Very important thing to remember, this arm here, don't do this. Don't set it on the ground, okay, because you're taking tension off the lat. Keep this arm up. We want all the weight right here on the foam roller. So hips need to be off the ground, rolling about 1 inch per second, just right here, just behind the back of the shoulder, right about where the armpit is. And we're rolling slow. Make sure you're leaning back. Rotate your body back so we can hit that lat muscle. We're going to come to right about where the nipple line is, or right about where the sternum is on the rib cage, and that's where we'll stop, which is right about here. And once again, all the way back down, nice and slow, just behind the shoulder, trying to find those tender areas where you feel the most tender spot. You just want to hang out there. This leg here is what's controlling you and also keeping the hips off the ground. As we bring the hips off the ground, it's going to put all the pressure here on that foam roller. Once again, 1 inch per second. That's how slow we're rolling on this roller, finding the most tender spots, and we're going to hold it in those tender spots for 30 to 90 seconds. Do this while you're watching TV. Get a foam roller, take it with you on vacation. Do this in the morning when you wake up, and you're going to move better. You're going to feel better. I think everybody wants to feel better and move better, right? So it's definitely a good idea to start foam rolling. Nice and slow. Take your time, stopping in those tender areas. 30 seconds. And once you stay in that spot, you can start to move. So what you're doing right now, you're searching for those tender spots. You're rolling around, searching for the tender spots. And when you find those tender spots, pause, hold 30 to 90 seconds. Very nice. We're going to go on to our other side, and then we'll wrap it up after that. Get your hips off the ground using this leg's on the ground, back leg's here on your foot, pushing your hips off of the ground, rolling slowly, 1 inch per second. And we're searching first for those tender spots. And I found a tender spot right here. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to hold that 30 seconds in that spot. So basically, what we're doing here, just so you can kind of understand, we have knots in certain areas of the body. The muscles kind of bound up, and there's knots and adhesions, kind of like scar tissue. This breaks up that scar tissue. You break up that scar tissue, it's going to help the muscle to relax. If you get that muscle to relax, it's going to allow that muscle to become more flexible, and you're going to be able to stretch. You're going to become more mobile. You're going to move better. So you got to foam roll daily. Even if it's just a little bit, just make it a habit to add this into your daily routine. You're going to feel better. And I think everybody wants to feel better, because I do. So this is why I'm going to incorporate this daily into my routine, as you should as well. So right behind the armpit, rolling down nice and slow, about 1 inch per second. The reason why you want to go 1 inch per second is so you can feel those tender spots. You feel that tender spot and you stop. This arm has to be off the ground so you can put all the tension there on your lats. Hips off the ground, rolling nice and slow. Take your time. It's very uncomfortable, and it's supposed to be. But this is a little bit of discomfort, and it's going to go a long way, and you're actually going to feel so much better. So today we just focused on foam rolling on our calves and our lats. These are two very common overactive muscle groups. All right. So it's very important to incorporate this. Once again, even if it's only 5 minutes per day, just start doing this. These are available clicking the link in my bio and ordering one of these so you can keep it with you, take it with you on vacation. These are accessible at a lot of public gyms. These are available. There's other things you can use. You can use a hard medicine ball. You can use a tennis ball. There's different stuff that you can use for a foam roller. So I hope that this video was helpful to you, and I hope that you will start to incorporate this into your daily routine. And if it was helpful for you, make sure you subscribe and hit that like button down below. Jeremy Scott, out.